Greetings, what is the news, all you fantastic human beings who are worthy of love. As I greet you in Oneida, we would say Sagoli, Narioliwis, Skanagoga, Skanago. I just said in Oneida, greetings, what is the news? Are you with peace? I am with peace. I am Dr. Thomas James Reed, and it is an honor to be with you all here in AIS 119, Ethnic Experience in the United States. As we've been doing our Canvas discussions, thank you so much for everyone who's responded on that. We've been responding to the overview video, the videos that have been assigned from our YouTube playlist, our reading as well too, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And then also for doing our on GroupMe for our talking circle. Thank you so much for all of your introductions. You'll notice me using that emoji of an eagle feather as I was taught this practice by my grandmother, an elder in the Oneida Nation, Eleanor Cornelius, maiden name Bailey, and she taught me that whoever is holding the eagle feather cannot tell a lie. Everyone else is speaking as intently as you are when you're listening. You're sending that speaker good and loving energy as they speak, and that this notion that we are stronger together than we are apart. That's partially why we share and one of the reasons why we come together in community. So grateful for you all. Just wanted to say to you all, Yawanko, thank you in Oneida. You are all human beings worthy of love. And invitation on obligation as we work on our self-care as well too, as you want to help take care of yourself so we can help show up for the world and take care of the world. Sit up nice and tall like a string is pulling you through your head. Deepest breath of love you've had all day. Breathing in some love like you love yourself. Breathe in. Exhale some love. Breathe out. You are love and you are worthy of love. Taking a quick look here at our syllabus as we bring this up here, just to have a reminder of where we are in the course and where we're looking to go as well too. So as we pull that up, it will list off our discussion today is here talking about by Dr. Malana Karenga, whose name in different African languages means master teacher and keeper of wisdom. This article from 2005, Race and Ethnic Relations, Concepts, Definitions, and Perspectives. Please, if you have not already, do check that out as you were supposed to before this week started. And would love for your week 2 to hear about that as well too. So you'll be looking at that reading. You're going to respond to the videos that were listed on the YouTube playlist under our Canvas week 2 module. And then also just whatever your response, your thoughts, reactions, reflections, 4 to 7 sentences is what we're looking for. So you can see for homework for next week, we're looking at this article by Dr. Dwayne Champagne from First Nations to Self-Governance about Native American peoples, looking at Tongva being the tribal peoples, the Wanyanyo Ahachimen and the Gabrieleno Tongva are the tribal peoples whose lands our university occupies, and it still is the land of these peoples today. Our university, Cal State Long Beach, sometimes referred to as Cal State Pavungna, as Pavungna means the great gathering place in the Tongva language. And this is where the creation story, or a key part of their spiritual story, comes together for people of Gabrieleno Tongva peoples. And I think it's important for all of us to learn about and to recognize and respect and acknowledge as we're here as these visitors on these lands. And how can we be good stewards? How can we be good guests? How can we help be good relatives to one another, to all peoples? You'll see we go through African American history, Black history, Chicano Latina, our Latinx history, Asian American history. Week 7 there is our midterm. Then we go into contemporary issues. In week 9 here is your cover letter and LinkedIn assignment is due. And partially we do this is recognizing the ethnic experience in the United States, that really you can be whatever you want to be. And I think that's fantastic as we learn about some different obstacles, we learn about different laws, and we learn about different policies, and we learn about how different treatments or mistreatments of people over time. And we can also recognize that in this day today, that we have the capacity to be whatever we want to be, and that we are here in this educational institution, that oftentimes we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. So keep going forward with that good intention. I look forward to your big dreams. Dream big. If people don't laugh at your dreams, they're probably not big enough, people. I want you to dream big. We're going to go along here talking about culture. Your reflection paper on your own ethnic experience is due end of week 13. Infographic is due week 14, or that social media post where you can do whichever, either or. Final exam on that last week of class right here as well too. So far so great. You all are doing a phenomenal job and loving the discussions, really impressed and grateful just for each of your reactions and to learn alongside you all. I really do love that aspect about this class. I believe that you all have a great deal of expertise and lived knowledge and experience, and just your responses. Everyone's going to have their own unique ideas. We put our minds together, we can accomplish a great deal. So by this article, Dr. Karenga, and talking about race and ethnic relations, concepts, definitions, and perspectives, a key point we talk about here, the definition of an ethnic group, of historical or national origin, distinctive cultural traits and practices, a sense of community. Ethnocentrism, there's 2 sides of the coin. I'm going to start with the negative, and then we're going to go to the positive. Remember the positive one, especially, that's what we'll be focusing on for this semester as we engage in that that multiculturalism of learning and engaging with one another. So negative ethnocentrism is to view one's own group as superior to others, to judge others by the standards and values of one's own group, and to deny others the rights and equal access to wealth, power, and status one claims for one's own self-group. Now, positive ethnocentrism is to center or ground oneself in one's own community and culture, to assume a position that one's culture is not better than all others, but rather preferred by one for non-prejudicial reasons, and being open to mutually beneficial relations and exchanges with others. So these key concepts here for positive ethnocentrism is going to be a core foundation of how we engage with material through the rest of the semester, and those conversations that we have to remind ourselves of this positive ethnocentrism to create a more just and equitable society for peoples to come. We talk about what do we mean by race. It can be defined as a socio-biological concept constructed to assign human worth and social status using Europeans as a paradigm, and how this can be often, this construction has both biological and social dimension. So looking at that as well too, we'll talk more about these modes of domination and modes of response here in a moment. And racism happens from the system of denial, deformation, and destruction of a people's history, humanity, and human rights based exclusively or primarily on the specious concept of race. Prejudice is essentially a negative attitude towards others based on faulty assumptions about them or their culture. I really appreciate that part of the definition, how prejudice about faulty assumptions, how oftentimes we can cure ignorance with education and learning. Discrimination, the action or behavior which denies equal access to opportunities and rights to persons because of prejudice or other arbitrary reasons. Stratification. This is the ranking of groups of people by wealth, power, and status, and the resultant unequal access, opportunity, and treatment which results from this. And a word is a system of structured inequality. And this can show up in the kind of treatment they receive, their access and opportunities with regard to social goods, the level of respect they receive, and thus their life conditions and life chances. We look at the titles here, these definitions of migration, referring of a transfer of populations. Immigration is coming to a different country, and emigration with an E is leaving a country. Some different theoretical perspectives here as well. For modes of domination, this can show up in race, class, and gender. And these can, including but not limited to, racism, classism, sexism. In modes of response, you can submission. You can essentially accept people's domination, imposition, and ideology, and can collaborate in their own oppression. Accommodation, you can internally reject the inequities and oppression of the system, but externally work within its framework, seeking gradual change. And resistance, you can reject the system and confront it on every level possible. Some of the varied and constant forms of resistance are cultural struggle, armed struggle, economic struggles, political struggles, including education. The method and intensity of the struggle are determined by the extent and pace of change sought, which ranges from liberal reform to radical change and revolution. So looking at these ideas and concepts will be ones that we'll be talking about throughout the semester. And again, I firmly believe that truth has no fear from investigation. So don't believe something solely because I say it or someone else says it. I do want you to do your own education, your own learning, and don't be afraid to ask questions. And then don't be afraid to engage in that mutual reciprocity of sharing and learning. With that being said, reach out with any questions. Office hours by appointment. You're a human being who is worthy of love. Be sure to do your week 2 Canvas responses after doing the readings and watching the videos, and then on our group me, we'll be talking about some agreements. What are those agreements that we want to have as a class community, as a community of peoples? How do we want to spend our time together in community, in that talking circle, community peacemaking circle? All right, people, you're a human being who's worthy of love. One last breath if you want to. Breathe in nice and deeply and slowly. Breathe in some love. And exhale some love. You, yes, you are worthy of love. I say to you in Oneida, Yalwanko Uganunkwa Unugiwa means thank you, I love you. Until next time in Oneida. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.